Boo! Did I scare you? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to farm some joy for these sweet, sweet relics. Oh, you want to farm some too? Well, guess what? I found a method to fully AFK farm the Hallowtide event. And the method may actually shock you. Alright, what's good, it's Worm. In today's video, I found a method to fully AFK the Hallowtide event for unlimited joy. And the method is actually pretty surprising. I also have a method that will allow you to get 5 times the drops you normally would. And all these methods are extremely easy, and all they require is a couple of vault accounts. But before I show you guys the methods, I actually have something that I want to bring to your attention. As you guys all know, most YouTubers pull the, oh, only 10% of you guys are subscribed, so you need to hit that subscribe button right now or else I'm gonna die. Well, guess what? I finally actually decided to try to check mine, and, yeah, I might be struggling a little bit. So in exchange for me giving you guys this method for unlimited joy, I think I'd say it's fair that you give me a little bit of joy in return for just subscribing. Well, with that, please subscribe. And with that, let's get on to these sweet, sweet methods. So for method 1, I'm actually just going to show you guys the most basic method to farming the event that I'm pretty sure almost everybody already knows about. But for those who don't, here you go. Around Widow's Cemetery, there are a lot of barrels that can allow us to do these 3 main methods. So I'll show you guys how to properly utilize them. The first method, and the most commonly known one, is stacking barrels on a tree. This tree is in the right corner over here, and once you have 5 to 6 barrels on this tree, you can activate this fire and go run up the tree like a scaredy cat. After that, once you shoot below, you will be able to cheese the gourd skippers extremely easily. This is a pretty good method, except for the fact that you have to do it manually. After which, once you're done farming them, you have to run down, wait for the spire, reactivate, run back up the tree. It's a whole hassle. So let's just cut that out of the way. And this will get us to the second part of the method, which is actually the AFK method. And with this AFK method, all that we're going to need to add is another account. What this account will do is sit by the spire and press E over and over again, so we'll actually be able to AFK the whole event. It will get hit by the skippers, but that's fine because we only need them to activate the spire. Just make sure that you put some food on it so you don't starve to death while doing this. For our main, we can have carnivore, which will allow us to keep getting food from just killing the mud skippers. What we're also going to do is put some barrels around the L account so that when it gets hit by the mud skippers, it actually doesn't move around all that much, so it will stay clicking on the spire. Then once we have something set up like this, with the barrels by the spire and the barrels on the tree, we can set up a tiny task. What we're going to do on our tiny task is make it so it clicks on our alt account, presses E on the spire, then we're going to click on our main account and throw a pumpkin. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to keep that looping. By keeping this looping, we're just going to be able to run this infinitely. We also do want to make sure that after we press E on our alt account, we also make it eat some food every once in a while, so it won't starve. But with that, Tiny Task is pretty easy to set up. Just make sure you have it so Tiny Task is always on top, and you have it on continuous playback. If you guys don't have Tiny Task, I'll include it down in the description, and it's pretty simple to use. So just once you download it, feel free to set it up just like I did here, and it's pretty easy. One note I do want to say, I haven't fully run this method overnight, so wish me luck as I'm actually going to be running this tonight to stress test it. I did leave it running for about 30 minutes, and I came back to this. Why is my screen shaking? Okay. 187! Yo, this might be the method. So I will say for 30 minutes of farming, that is pretty good. And with being able to get a ton of relics, this is probably one of the best farms in the game right now, so be sure to go do this. Now, for the last method, for farming a ton of items, we will need a couple more alt accounts, or some friends for that matter. For this method, instead of taking the barrels and putting them up on the tree, we instead board up the church in the graveyard. By doing this, we can take a bunch of alts inside and they won't get hurt by the skippers. And by doing this, all the skippers will try to run to the entrance and get inside, but they won't be able to because of the barrels. So what we can do is we can just throw pumpkins at the entrance over and over again, and for every account we have, we'll get an extra chest. This will allow us to super easily farm the rare items, like the Zap Scroom hat and the Charm Scroom hat. So it will be super easy, so make sure to do this. But besides that, those are the methods I have. So like I said earlier, if this helped you in any ways, I beg that you help me. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll be eternally grateful. But with that, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and leave a comment on what you guys think about this. But with that, I hope you guys all have a happy Hallowtide, and I hope you all have a great day.